What's going on, NBA fanatics? This is your friendly neighborhood Memphis Grizzly homer, Memphis X, and I talk hoops. Yesterday was the first day of free agency, and it was the second most important thing that happened yesterday. The Brooklyn Nets and Kevin Durant dropped a bomb with Kevin Durant requesting a trade, and we're going to talk about it. But first, every hero needs their theme music.
KeyAno.
Grizz gang, go hard. Baddest in the game, we be on one. I talk hoops, so secure. All up on the court, but we gon' score. Memphis bringing heat straight from Tennessee. Demarest back in let's go.
It really does seem like it was just yesterday when I was sitting at the Grizzlies lottery party or at a Grizzlies lottery party, pining away for Mr. Kevin Durant to join the Memphis Grizzlies, hoping beyond hope that the Grizz would get the number 1 or number 2 pick and be able to draft Kevin Durant. But alas, it was not to be. And we had to look from Memphis to Oklahoma City as they had what I like to call the easy street of NBA basketball. They were born with a NBA superstar on their team. The Thunder never knew what it was like not to have a superstar on their team for 10 years, to their first 10 seasons. And at that point, the Grizzlies had never had a superstar on their team. So I have followed Kevin Durant since he was in Texas, killing the game. And I was one of the people that thought it was a good move for him to go to Golden State, which it was, sort of. But it seems that for some reason or another, he's just not going to be happy anywhere. Oklahoma fell out of favor with him. Quickly, Golden State fell out of favor with him. And now he's in Brooklyn, and it fell out of favor with him. Let's listen to Bill Simmons really describe exactly what it's been like for the last few years of Kevin Durant's career.
Mentioned earlier about Durant, like what a bizarre career this has been, right? Like my Pantheon has 16 people on it. And you go through and it's like MJ and Russell and Kareem and LeBron and Bird and Magic and Wilt and Duncan and Kobe, Oscar and Jerry, Curry, KD, Shaq, Hakeem, Moses. KD's had, other than Wilt, I think the weirdest career out of all those guys in terms of this guy's was unassailably great. And yet his choices over and over again, he's shot himself in his own foot or just either had bad luck or did something that it seems like he regretted within a year, right? You go back to 2010, he signs the extension with OKC that starts in 2011, doesn't give himself a player option in year 5, right? OKC really pushed him, hey, if you do 5 years, it's better for us. And then a year later, they trade Harden. 2016, goes to Golden State. Doesn't seem, I thought that was the right move. I still do, but it seemed like he was completely blindsided by the ramifications of that publicly, that he was chasing a title on a 73-win team. 2018, he's unhappy in Golden State and starts laying the breadcrumbs that he's going to leave. 2019, hooks up with Kyrie, who had just torpedoed his situation in Boston, and they decide to set up shop in Brooklyn. 2021 pushes Brooklyn to go all in on the Harden trade. 2021 summer extension. 2022 trade request. That's a lot of action, Rob, where things where it's either he wasn't in control of the situation or made a decision that he regretted pretty soon after.
This is Memphis X with iTalkHoops. While you're here, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell for notifications so you will be alerted to all the new videos I have coming up during this NBA offseason. We have a goal on this channel to get to 1,000 subscribers before the new season starts, and I'm going to need your help to get there. Thank you. Now, anybody that knows the public persona of Kevin Durant, because I don't try to pretend like I know these players personally, but the public persona of Durant, it has evolved over the years. You remember at first, early, he was the anti-LeBron, the humble, meek superstar that wanted to stay in a small market and tough it out. You guys remember that? He had that famous quote. I'm gonna try to find this quote about why everybody wanted to leave for a super team and stuff. You know, it was one of those kind of things. It was a persona that he was putting on to satisfy the NBA media. He was really manipulating the media. It was so obvious, but everybody bought into it because they were so anti-LeBron at the time. This was like right after the decision. And people really, really bought into it. And it was like shortly thereafter, the real KD came out. The pettiness, the burner accounts, all of it. And we realized that we had a player who had a personality that was different than almost anybody else in the league. And I think this personality of his is what has caused him not to find happiness so far in any stop in the NBA. And I really think he could have found happiness in Oklahoma City the entire time he was there. He probably would have been there forever if they wouldn't have traded James Harden and broke up that team. I think that has really jaded him on the NBA. A young team that was on the cusp of NBA domination, that looking back on it had 3 MVP level players on it. And the Oklahoma City Thunder management broke that team up over less than $5 million. That is insane. And I believe that is what has caused this wanderlust in Kevin Durant. And it's going to be, I really, really, really hope, this video is not going to be long. I really, really hope that Kevin Durant is able to find peace at some stop in the NBA. It looks like he's going to end up in Phoenix with Chris Paul and Devin Booker. And honestly, I don't think that's going to be the place of peace for him, even if he wins the championship. But I hope before he stops playing, because he's a guy that just really, really loves to hoop, I hope that he can find a place of peace in the NBA. Kevin Durant is probably one of the 10 greatest players that I've ever seen play NBA basketball. Easily. Maybe top 5. And I'm talking about people that I've seen. I don't count guys that are, if you I would say like pre-Magic or pre-Jordan. I really don't count that because I was too young to really appreciate what was going on. But Kevin Durant, I put him right up there with the greatest. Right below the guys like Magic, Michael, Shaq, Kobe, Duncan, Olajuwon. Right below that level, I would put him right below the Steph Currys. Oops. He really has something to do for his legacy. I don't know if he can repair it at this point. It's going to be hard because the narrative is going to be really, really funky against him. But hopefully we'll get to see Kevin Durant compete at the highest levels again, wherever he goes, in the finals, in the conference finals, in competitive playoff series where he's not overmatched by the other team. Hopefully we get to see that this season and throughout the rest of his career. That's what I'm hoping for. And I'm also hoping that Ja and the rest of the Grizzlies knock his funky ass out the playoffs. Guys, remember to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for notifications, and like this video, and send it to any NBA fans that you know. Peace.